We take an in-depth look at a Benet Academy volleyball player who has overcome adversity and has excelled on the courts for this feature, presented by Edward Medical Group.
These days, Benet Academy sophomore Augie Mazza is hovering above the net, playing with the Redwing Volleyball team. But he wasn't supposed to be here.
One time during a basketball game, I got hurt, and that kind of did it for me, and I was on crutches. So my parents actually handled the situation super well, and we went to the best doctor, pediatric hip doctor in the state, and I did all the tests and stuff like that, and he was like, hey, you shouldn't play any sports again if you want to just stay healthy and not be in a ton of pain.
Mazza was in 6th grade, and this was obviously a very stark reality setting in for an active kid with a passion for sports.
I was, devastated. I played all the sports I could, and I give credit again to my parents because at this time we got home and my dad pulled out one of those yellow pads for ideas and silly things like that. And there were a bunch of really funny things like archery, Olympic archery and stuff like that. But one kind of stuck with me, and it was learning how to fly planes.
So flying it was, but soon after completing his first class, a new door opened thanks to Mazza's parents, and it led to a flight to the East Coast.
They found the best pediatric hip doctor in the world, and it happened to be in Boston, so we flew out there, and they did this super cool procedure on me, said I was all fine, and then things all worked out, and now I'm doing fine now.
So much so that Mazza's coach, Jeff Steinberg, didn't even know that the kid he called up as a freshman to play in varsity last year dealt with so much adversity just a few years earlier.
It helps kind of demonstrate who he has become today, given the fact, he doesn't complain, he works hard, and I'm sure a lot of that comes from that situation. He could have just kind of folded there and said, this is it. I'm sure there was a long recovery process involved in it. I can't imagine what that would have been like. I dealt with little injuries, that kept me out for a month at a time, and those were things that I couldn't stand, so I couldn't imagine being told I'm never allowed to play sports again.
Even now, starting as just a sophomore, the Red Wing has a maturity about him, with his experience providing a unique perspective for someone his age.
When I was in 6th grade, I was like, hey, it's only sports or nothing. And then I found out hey, I can fly. Well, there's definitely way more things that you can do with your life than stuff like that.
He started last year as a freshman. He came in midway through the year, and that's a hard situation to be put in, playing with all seniors on the floor last year, and then just being the youngest guy on the team. He was the only freshman on the team. I do think that kind of helped. It kind of kept him humble too, and made him more comfortable in that situation than maybe other people would be.
And sure, he may be flying high above the net now, but his altitude is about to skyrocket once more.
I did drift away from it a little bit, but this summer I wanted to make it my goal to get my pilot's license, which would be super cool.
All this soaring, born from adversity. Reporting for NSW, I'm Kevin Jackman.